It is May 2023 and tonight we are at a strange place. We're just off the Laurel Road outside Ballynahinch, and what you're looking at is the burial site of Betsy Gray. Betsy was a very famous Irish heroine, and in 1798 her boyfriend and her brother were killed by yeomanry outside Ballynahinch just after the Battle of Ballynahinch. And at this place in the Townland of Ballycreen, I've just come off the road here to show you some of the memorial markers. Now Betsy, they say Betsy was from Cumber or Grantia or somewhere in North or East County Down. Betsy was very much a socialist or a nationalist in today's language, and she was of Presbyterian stock at the time. In the 18th century, in 1798, Presbyterians were not in the ruling class. They were opposed to, similar to the Roman Catholics, I guess, at the time. And Betsy, as part of her political activism, came to Ballynahinch to fight the British Army. Of course, the United Irishmen, of which Betsy was purportedly a volunteer or a member or an associate, they were not successful, and the British Army were able to defend and defeat the United Irishmen. But Betsy ran with her companions and came out just out this way here towards the Townland of Ballycreen, and they were found just in the corner of Horner's Road, and then they were buried here. Now, they were buried here. The farmer at the time, 100 years after their death in the late 19th century, a man called Mr. Armstrong, he facilitated many people in the local community would come to honour Betsy and her work, and there was a quiet memorial every year on their deaths. I think that was June to the 1798, so for a number of years after their deaths, the local people would come here and they would honour Betsy and her partner and her brother. And then as nationalism took steam again in the late 1800s, around 1896 I believe, there was a memorial constructed for Betsy here, and it was constructed by her great nephew, a man called Gray, and he was involved in the erection of a memorial. And you'll see that on Google if you do some research. And then after that, in the years after that, nationalism really took a heed, and indeed the people who are of nationalist persuasion, predominantly in West Belfast and places like that, even some Unitarians, they came here almost as a bit of a pilgrimage. And the night before the 100-year anniversary of Betsy's death, Orange men from this area came to destroy the memorial. And what I'm showing you now is the remains of the memorial. Let's have a look at it. So you can actually see it was clearly a memorial at a time. You can see the actual marble there. It was constructed in 1896, and then it was destroyed in 1898. The night before, many people from the Falls Road and the Nationalist Andersonstown were due to come down to visit this. And it's so interesting history because many Presbyterians were involved in the creation of the United Irishmen. And then 100 years later, Presbyterians had become really quite, how can I guess, favourable under the monarchy and the government, and Presbyterians were afforded equality, whereas unfortunately many Roman Catholics were not at that time. So many Roman Catholics wanted to come to encourage and honour their fallen hero, who was of Presbyterian stock. And the night before they came in 1898, local Protestants, local Orange men, came to destroy the memorial, and here the memorial sits and lies today in ruins in this really quite barren place. It was a bit of a find for me to come and locate it. But there you go. There's the final marking place of Betsy Gray, her boyfriend and her brother, over and out from here at Betsy Gray's memorial outside of Ballynahinch.